Hello friends, my name is Hamid. Today I'm working on this Miele washing machine. This unit is W4800 model, and the model number on this unit is located right here by the door. And today I will teach you how to replace this door gasket. The reason you're replacing this door gasket, if the door gasket is moldy or it has a hole in it, that's the time you want to replace it. The first thing we are going to do is we will get to the side of the washer. You see this tab, there's one screw we need to take that off. It's a T15 screw. You pull this screw out halfway and then push it in. And then the same thing on this side. Usually there's a little small tab. You want to use a flat screwdriver to pull this out, and then you take that screw off. The top lid, the left side. Open this soap dispenser, and at the back of the soap dispenser also I'll pull this out completely. At the back of the soap dispenser you will have a plastic tab. This you got this tool. With this tool you can open your drain pump, and you can also do all kind of stuff, so it's a really good tool. Make sure that the power is in off position. A washing machine is unplugged before you work on it. Of course it's unplugged because I'm working on it in my garage. The next part we are going to do is we have to take this front panel glass off. So this tool, or you can use a flat screwdriver to stick it up top and put a little bit pressure on it and then pry it up. And then go back and forth from here. So this display touchpad comes out. This comes off. Now we are going to take this screw off, and we have another screw over there. We have one screw right here, and then another screw on that side. I will also show you how to do that. And the size of this screw is T20. It's T20. You can use the same Miele tool or a flat screwdriver to pry these side panels out like this. There's a little small tab that you may want to push it with a flat screwdriver or with this tool, and then you can do the same thing on the other side. The display comes off. You can disconnect it if you want, or just leave it up there. You're okay. If you want to disconnect it, there's a little small tab. You may want to press on it and then disconnect it after that. The wiring diagram, you remove it. I'll put it in my pocket for now. And then you take, there's one screw right here, one here, and one there. So here's this screw. Another one. So once this piece is off, you have to wiggle it back and forth. Let me see. It should just come out here. This came off. You put your display assembly back again here, and just put it there like that. The next part, we are going to take this door gasket off. In order to take this door gasket off, the front of the gasket, you need a needle nose plier or a flat screwdriver. You need to take the spring off. You see this spring right here. Here the spring comes out. The customer tried to patch it in, but it was still leaking, so they decided to replace the door gasket. And now we got T27. This is T27, Torx 27. We will take this off. This one is off. And then there's another one up top. There's this one. This one I'll just lose it. I will not pull this out right now because we still got some time. On the side right here we got one screw. The two screws off from the top. I got a magnet there so I can stick all my screws in there. We took the one from the bottom, now we'll take the one from the top. And these screws for the door locks are also T20, and now the front panel would come out. So you close your door, and then once you close it, lift it up. After that, the whole front panel comes out. The light and the sprayer comes out. You need to put a lot of pressure on it, and then the second part is this one. So this one's out, this guy, and then this light stays up here, and then you have to pull this part out from inside. You just pull on it. Flat screwdriver. We can use a flat screwdriver to pull it out. If you have a bigger screwdriver, it's better too, but the small one would really save you a lot of space here. So this way it's easier to take this spring off. You still have to open it more. One of my friends requested to make a video about replacing this door gasket. It's very cool in the garage, and I didn't have enough time to turn on the heat. I had a little bit of issue with the electrical panel, so I'm just doing this in cold weather. It's not that cold, but I'm feeling cold, so it's Canada, so it's always cold. I wouldn't say always, but winter is crazy here. Okay, so now we will pull out the gasket again and see how. So the gasket is out, and here's my new door gasket. The port number is 6261943. It's called sealing ring. Here's the new gasket. And before you replace your new gasket, you may want to clean all of these debris from here, as to hold it like this, and then put it almost like a lip around the seal, so it almost goes like this. I'll show you here. So you're holding it open, and then the front of the plastic piece is like that, and then it sits on top of it like this. See that? And then from other side it looks like that. So you're gonna work on it very slowly, take your time. So once you install a little bit of gasket, hold it with your right hand side, and then with the left hand side you kind of go like this, and then hold it again, and then go again like that, and then hold it with your right hand side. So you're going to keep doing this all the way to the end. This door lock is on your way. It doesn't matter, you don't have to see it to do it, you can feel it, and keep doing it. And then once that area is done, you can do the other side. And then when you're doing the right hand side, you want to use your right hand side lip over, hold it with your left hand side, and then do the same thing again. Hold it, do it again, hold it, and you keep doing this. And then the same thing. Also, to make your job go easier, you always push the gasket inside towards inside like this, so this way it's not on your way, and it will be very easy to install. You can also do this before you even install the gasket. So install it like this, and then after that you can do that. The procedure I'll show you on this video was just for a regular washing machine, but I made a mistake here. It's an easy mistake, you can fix it. You don't have to worry about a lot. So I'll show you what I did here, and I just figured it out by myself, because I don't work all the time on these washers. compared to other brands. That's why I installed this gasket as a normal gasket. So here you go, I'll show you the mistake I made here. The gasket installed perfectly fine. I do not see any problem with the gasket, but here's the position of the gasket. You will find out after the installation. Can you see those holes? These 3 holes. Those 3 holes are in this position. It's supposed to be all the way down at the center, so when this area fills with water, all the water flows back inside of the washer. If you install your gasket like this, you're still okay, but your water will stay here, and then the washer gasket will get moldy back again. So these 3 holes are super important to line up with 3 holes inside. You see those 3 holes? You see? Put focus on. You see those 3 holes? But look at those 3 holes. Those 3 holes needs to come at the center. It's very important. So I'm gonna, because of this mistake, I'm gonna have to pull my door gasket out again and redo it. You see these 3 holes? These 3 holes, let me check here. These 3 holes needs to line up with those 3 holes. And if you want your washer to be super clean and healthy, you can also clean these holes with a Q-tip or something when it's wet, and then you can even use a steamer to clean it, and then reinstall your gasket back again. Those 3 holes needs to line up with those 3 holes. So if I install this gasket the way that these 3 bottom holes are lining up with the tub, you see this tongue is supposed to come straight up top. And again, another tip which I didn't give you is align your gasket like this. This way it's more easier to reinstall it back, and see that? It's not installed, but you kind of bring it in, and then now you can install. You can even see this. This gasket job, including cleanup and everything, should not take more than half an hour max. Because I'm making video, it's a little bit longer this way. So every time you install your gasket, please do not complete your job. You pull this out again from the front, and look at those 3 holes. See those 3 holes? Door spring. To make your job more easier, open it more. And you can do exactly the same thing when you're uninstalling the door gasket. Here you go. Push this back again. The door the ring goes around the door, and there's an opening. You see on the old gasket the opening? This opening, the back spring sits straight on top of this, all around. And look at this damage. This damage is not normal. This is not normal at all. The flange has a crack and the drum is not balanced anymore. That's why you got this problem here. So reinstalling your door spring, and install it around here. So it's loose now. I can feel it. It's loose. And then you can you actually don't have to bring the spring that side. You can always bring it on this side too. If the door lock is on your way and you cannot really see it and lock it back again properly, you can always flip it to opposite side. See, it's very loose. Also, before you retie this, check your spring around the door gasket to make sure it's not off, because again, it's supposed to sit here. If it stays off in this area, you can still retie it, but then after a couple of cycles the door gasket will come off. So again, you feel the spring. So I'll put this spring in here and I'll show you. So the door spring is supposed to stay in that seam like this. Sometimes it kind of gets installed like that, and then halfway it's in, on another half it's out. You will think that you installed the gasket properly, but in fact after a couple of wash it will come off again. So be careful, it's important. So now you can retie this with your finger until you need the flat screwdriver. Keep doing it. See, it's loose right now. Once you know it's tight with your finger, again run your hand all the way and check the spring, feel the spring. Make sure that you do not feel the spring. You want to make sure the spring is all the way in. So it's good. And then now you can use your flat screwdriver to retie it. From other side I had the door lock. On my way from this side I have this hose. My door gasket seems okay. You do not over tie this, it's not good. And now I can put my front panel back in. When you take these panels off, the front panel off, if they fall down, be careful, it will be missing here, and then you can reinstall it back. And when I was taking the panel off, this came off and it was there, so I'll reinstall it back in. One is one clip we got here, the another one is here. You see there's one hole in here, one hole there. Those little small holes, they sit on top. You see how the panel looks over there? I get one clip over there, the another clip is right there, and now you can close your panel. This side is also important. I'll show you something here. before I reinstall it back in. You see, this is for your door lock safety switch, door lock switch. In case if the washer is not opening, you can open it with this. You want to make sure this part sits right here, so you kind of hold it, insert it inside. Here you go. When it's inserted properly, it looks like this. See, you insert it from the back, it has to sit here. If you don't install this properly, once your door lock gets locked, you will never be able to open it easily until you call a technician. So it's super important to put this clip back in here properly. When installing this part, this plastic goes here, just like that. And the same thing on this side. When you're installing this side, line that side up, line it up, and then insert this here. You add your screws on top of this. Those two small holes, they go at the bottom, and then from the bottom you add your screws. Because if you strip these screws, where it goes, if you strip it, then you're gonna have to get a new door lock. So that will cost you a lot of money. So be careful. Use your hands. Use a screwdriver when you're doing that. And then there's another one at the bottom. Before you install the front gasket here, if you have a little bit of soap, put a little bit of soap here, and then insert it inside here. And I'll show you again how to replace this here. The way you're installing this, from here all the way here goes between the gasket, and this area stays outside. So put a little bit soap here, or I put a little bit grease here because I didn't have soap, and then you insert it inside of this hole. Here, it's in, and the position has to face inside, has to be that position. And then the same thing with this light. You want to put a little bit soap here, and then you just insert it inside here. It gets inserted inside here. So once you know your rubber gasket hoses, the black rubber gasket is installed properly, you can insert your light. Here you go, and press it a little bit extra hard to make sure it sits, and now you can do your front gasket job here. You hold it with your right hand side, keep filling it with the left hand side. The back of this gasket, this area sits on top of this lip. And now here you go, your spring. You put the spring on the top of the door, and I'll show you a close-up here how it's supposed to look. You see this? The spring is supposed to go inside all the way. You may want to do one side fully, all the way closer to this spring, that little small spring you have. Open it from the right hand side and fill it on the left hand side, So once your spring goes there, make sure also hold that side, so you're kind of helping it to give it extra spring. This spring is supposed to come straight at the bottom, or it doesn't matter, you don't have to bring it all the way straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. You want to make sure it's installed properly. You're going to pull a lot on this spring, and if it slips from your tool, from your what do you call it, from needle nose plier, you're going to scratch this place. Pull on it here, and then while you're putting pressure here, you can even adjust it. Here you go, the spring is right here. This panel goes first. You see these notches, these plastic tabs here, they get inserted in these spots. Look at it here when I insert this. You see that? Once side goes in, you kind of play around with it, push it back in, everything sits there, and now you can add all your screws here. Do not forget to put the wiring diagram back in. Reinstall your display panel back in. If you're new, be very careful. If you know what you're doing, then just take it as a normal repair. When we're installing this back end, so you're gonna insert the bottom first. You see this? How it looks? Let me pull it out again. Oh, it went all the way, so. You see these spots? Clean it a little bit. Clean it first. You can use a wet towel or spray it with something and clean it and wipe it. You also want to clean this area. You also want to clean this area because I can see there's a lot of debris and garbage build up here, because they go from these spots over time. See how nicely it sits from both sides, and then you can always press it with your thumb and go back and forth like this. Forget to put this back in. It goes, sometimes it goes in this position, sometimes it goes in this position, so do not forget to put this back in at the back of the soap dispenser. And the way the top panel goes, you hold it at the back, align it with those, pull it up, and then you see these clips, make sure they're not in that position, they're in out position. The same thing on that side. Do not crash it, pull it out, double check it when you're reinstalling it back in, and then here you go, it sits right here. You see these clips, they have a spot where they go. If your top panel is not sitting properly, you see this side is seating properly, but this side is open. Double check your top panel. Once your job is complete, do not forget to put those plastic tabs back in. It looks more nicer and smoother. Otherwise, you can see the screw, which is not a big deal, but put those back in so it looks nicer. The job is completed. Run your washer for at least 10 minutes to make sure everything is working, it's not leaking water. If the gasket is making noise, the washer is making noise. Sometimes these washers would make noise after installing a new gasket. So for that noise, you may want to go through diagnostic on a full spin cycle. Run the full spin cycle on this washer for at least 5 minutes. It will hit the front of the gasket. Let me see. You see this back, the way it's damaged, but sometimes when you're installing the new gasket, even if the washer doesn't have any kind of problem with the bearing or flange, because the gasket is new, it's different, so you may want to run the spin cycle. A spin cycle would hit the inside of the gasket, it will wear out from inside, and then you're not gonna have that noise again. Because in the past I installed these gaskets and my customer complained that, well, I didn't have this noise, and I checked my bearing, my flange, everything was perfectly fine. The only solution was to run the diagnostic on this washer, go on a full spin cycle, run it for maybe at least 5 minutes, and then after that the noise will go away. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please like my videos, share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Facebook. It's called Hamid Appliances Repair. Thank you.